Right now, there's $3.3 trillion that banks hold at the Federal Reserve. These are bank reserves. And what you can see from this chart is that banks did not keep reserves at the Fed until after the financial crisis. Following the financial crisis, the reserves that banks hold at the Fed have grown to the point where now about $3.3 trillion is sitting there. Now, this $3.3 trillion gets paid an interest rate. So banks hold their reserves at the Fed and get paid to do so. Currently, this is the tool the Fed uses to make sure that the federal funds rate, the interest rate that they set, stays within their target range. It makes sure that the federal funds rate never falls below their floor. Because if one bank tries to offer a lower rate to another bank, the other bank will just keep their reserves at the Fed instead. The interest paid on this $3.3 trillion is the floor underneath interest rates. However, it is not necessary for the Federal Reserve to use this in order to make sure the federal funds rate stays within their target range, as is obvious because there were no balances held at the Fed prior to 2008. Prior to 2008, the Federal Reserve used open market operations to increase and decrease reserves in the system by buying and selling treasuries in order to make sure that interest rates stayed where they wanted them to be. Now, this is much harder, it is less efficient, but it is still possible.